I am He. I am Jesus Christ, the second coming. But this time, I will not suffer. I have come to enjoy life. That's a real quote from a real man in Lagos. He built an empire. He convinced hundreds that he was divine, married many women in the dozens. He ran a commune like his own personal kingdom. They called him Jesu Oyinbo, the Jesus of Oyinbo. And this story is wild. Let's get into it. His real name was Emmanuel Olufumilayo Odumosu. He was born in 1915 in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State. His grandfather was a respected herbalist, so the spiritual vibes were already in the family, you know. He didn't have formal schooling, but he learned carpentry, and eventually he got a job with Nigeria's Post and Telegraph Service during World War II. In 1945, he joined the National Postal Workers strike. He got sacked, ended up broke. He tried to run a workshop in Lagos, fell into debt. He even did 6 months in jail because of this debt. He couldn't pay. And while all of this was happening, he said he was having visions, dreams. He claimed that God was showing him things. And eventually, he believed that he was the second coming of Jesus Christ. By 1952, he had already started his own church, the Universal College of Regeneration. At first, it looked like a typical holiness movement. No smoking, no alcohol, no sex outside marriage. You know, followers gave up worldly pleasures, donated to the church, but as more people joined, as his popularity grew, things escalated. In 1954, a wealthy convert gave him land in Ebutemeta, near the Oyinbo market, and he set up loudspeakers and started preaching to the whole neighborhood. That's when people started calling him Jesu Oyinbo. And in 1959, he said it out loud, I am Jesus Christ, I have come again, but this time I will not suffer. I've come to enjoy life. And enjoy he did. He moved to Maryland, Lagos. He built what he called his New Jerusalem, a private gated compound filled with followers. You couldn't just walk into his compound. Everyone who lived there worked for the church. They ran bakeries, saloons, restaurants, printing press. They even had construction businesses. One bakery sold good luck bread. Even Catholic nuns used to buy that one. It was popular for some reason. All the money that was made went to the church, and by church I mean Odumosu himself. The compound had statues of lions, fountains with mermaids, and religious slogans on every wall. Every evening they screened Nigerian and foreign films. Odumosu ran everything. Followers gave him their money, their labor, even their spouses. Yes, he could reassign wives. If you fell out of favor with him, your wife might be taken and given to another man, or he will keep the wife for himself. He was a polygamist, and he claimed that it was his own divine right. Estimates say he had between 30 to 80 wives, maybe even more. He fathered so many children that after his death, 167 children came forward to claim inheritance. Now, this next part is hard to talk about. There were disturbing rumors, unproven but widely whispered, that he fathered children with some of his own daughters. These claims were never confirmed in court, but they stuck. People believed them because of how much power he had and how private the compound was. Former members described it as a place where you couldn't say no to him. You can't say no to Odumosu. In 1961, some ex-followers spoke out. They told the press that he was a fraud. The police investigated and found large amounts of cash in his home. He said it was tithe money. No charges stuck, but it fueled public suspicion. The press called him a charlatan, a fake messiah. But still, his movement kept growing. People believed this man. His teachings mixed Christianity with African traditional religion and a bit of Islam. He preached that the outside world was evil, that only he could save people from it. For some, that message worked. People stayed in the commune for decades. Then in 1988, everything fell apart. Odumosu died suddenly in a Lagos hospital. He had always claimed that he would never die, and his followers refused to believe that this man was dead. They waited in the compound for 3 days for him to resurrect. He did not. Then came the chaos. No will, no leadership, just chaos. Wives, children, former disciples, all fighting for control. Some tenants stopped paying rent. His eldest son took legal action. The case dragged on for years. It was messy. The whole thing was, everybody was fighting. Finally, in 2014, the Lagos High Court gave a ruling. All 167 of his children were entitled to equal shares of his estate. No mention of the wives. The judge appointed UBA Capital to manage the assets under police supervision. Today, the compound is mostly empty. Some buildings inside the compound have been sold. Some widows ended up in poverty. His children are scattered. Some are still trying to get their share of the inheritance. A few became pastors themselves. But the church that he built, it's gone now. Jesu Oyinbo is remembered in gospel songs that mock fake messiahs. Emi emo Jesu Oyinbo, Jesu temimo. Ah, yeah, right. I can't sing it. I don't know Jesus of Oyinbo. The Jesus I know is the Rock of Ages. Do you know that song? But for those who lived through it, he was real, he was powerful, he was very dangerous. And his story is a warning about blind faith, unchecked power, and what happens when people worship a man instead of the truth. Thank you so much for watching. If you like stories like this, please follow me. I tell stories like this all the time on all my social media. They're in my bio. Thank you.